Welcome to the Mobile Home Friend YouTube channel. I am Charles Odell, and this is your primary resource for everything manufactured housing. Whether you are tackling a full remodel like the one you see here, or just looking for honest advice on repairs and financing, we provide the data and technical deep dives you need to succeed. Our mission is simple: to help you save money and improve your home through first principles logic and transparent cost breakdowns. For the full technical guides and even more resources, visit us at mobilehomefriend.com.
Welcome to another deep dive from Mobile Home Friend. Today, we're digging into the true cost of mobile home skirting, all based on the very latest research we put together over at mobilehomefriend.com.
That is so true. We're not just talking about curb appeal here, folks. This is a really crucial component for your home's overall health and safety. You got to think of skirting as like the protective armor for the entire underside of your home.
All right, let's get right into it. First, we're going to talk about why skirting is so essential. Then we'll get into choosing your material, breaking down the actual costs, planning out your project, and finally, and this is a big one, we'll cover some critical must-haves you can't ignore.
So let's start with the big question. What does skirting actually do for your home? Besides just hiding the foundation. Well, a better way to think about it is as an active system, one that's working 24/7 to protect your investment.
Yeah, it's basically this protective shield that affects everything from your utility bills to stopping some really costly damage from moisture and critters. I mean, think about it, a burst pipe in the middle of winter, or a family of raccoons deciding to move in. That can cost you thousands. Good skirting is literally your first line of defense against all of that.
Okay, now for the big decision. What material are you going to use? Seriously, the choice you make right here is going to be the biggest factor in your total cost and your long-term satisfaction. And believe me, there's a huge range of options out there, each with its own set of pros and cons. So, the most common choice, the one you see everywhere, is vinyl. It's super budget-friendly, and honestly, it's great for a DIY project. But on the flip side, you've got something like faux stone, which gives you that really high-end look and can seriously boost your home's value. The cool thing is, it looks just like real masonry, but without all that weight or, the crazy cost.
Right, and if durability is what you're really after, you can't beat metal. It's tough. It'll stand up to those accidental bumps from a weed eater or a lawnmower in a way that, let's be honest, standard vinyl just can't. Now, if you're more focused on energy savings, insulated panels are the absolute top performer. They create this thermal break that really helps keep your floors warmer in the winter. They do come at a higher price, but for many, it's worth it. And look, these are just a few of the top choices we're highlighting here. You've also got materials like treated wood, which can give you a really nice rustic look, or even concrete blocks if you want ultimate, permanence. For a much deeper dive into all the options, you absolutely have to check out the full guide over on mobilehomefriend.com.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk numbers, because the question we get asked more than any other is, what is this actually going to cost me? So let's break down the national averages so you know what to expect.
Yeah, after looking at all the national averages, we found the ranges, it's pretty wide. It really depends on your home's size and, of course, the material you pick. I mean, it's obvious a single wide is going to cost less than a double wide, and choosing those high-end materials can definitely push that total up.
So, ballpark, you can expect to budget somewhere between $1,500 and $5,000 for a complete professional job. A really straightforward vinyl installation on a smaller home, you're going to be at that lower end. But a big double wide with faux stone on some tricky sloped ground, yeah, that's going to push you toward that higher $5,000 mark.
Now, this is super helpful. This breaks down the material cost per linear foot. This is exactly how you can start to build your own specific estimate. You just measure the perimeter of your home, multiply it by the cost of the material you want, and boom, you've got a baseline for your budget.
And you cannot forget about labor costs. As we actually noted on the site, professional installation can easily eat up over half of your total budget. But hey, here's a little tip. You can often cut those labor costs down by doing the site prep yourself. Just clearing and leveling the ground before the installers get there saves them time, and their time is your money, so it saves you cash. Okay, so whether you're hiring a pro or you're tackling this yourself, you have got to know how much material to order. Getting your measurements right is absolutely key if you want to avoid wasting money and making those annoying extra trips to the hardware store.
Right, and this is a simple process, but it's so critical. Getting that average height, for example, is hugely important, especially if your home is on uneven ground.
Now, if you want the full technical breakdown, like with diagrams for every single step, you've got to check out the post on mobilehomefriend.com. It walks you through the whole thing visually, which makes it way easier.
And here is a classic pro tip from our founder, Chuck himself. He always says to buy 10% more than you think you need. And trust me, that little bit extra from miscuts or accidental damage or just those tricky angles, it's a total project saver. It will save you a trip back to the store and a massive headache.
Okay, listen up, because this last section is arguably the most important one. Seriously, getting these details wrong can lead to huge, expensive problems down the line. It can completely wipe out all the benefits of having skirting in the first place.
First things first, the ground vapor barrier. Let me be clear, this is non-negotiable. It is the #1 defense against the kind of moisture that will literally destroy a home from the bottom up. If you don't have one, you're just trapping all that damp air under your home, and that is an absolute recipe for disaster.
So this little checklist here covers the absolute essentials. You need proper venting to prevent humidity and mold from building up. You must have a ground vapor barrier, as we just said. And you absolutely need access panels for any future plumbing or HVAC work. Please do not seal yourself out from your home's most critical systems.
So here's the bottom line. Skipping these steps isn't saving you money. Not at all. It's just delaying a much, much bigger and more expensive repair bill later on. A rotten subfloor is one of the single most difficult and costly repairs you can ever face as a mobile homeowner. So please, do it right the first time.
And that really brings us to the key takeaway, the question you should be asking yourself. Is your skirting choice just a short-term fix, or is it a long-term investment in your home's value and its protection? Because the right skirting, when it's installed correctly, is a true investment in the future, in the longevity, the safety, and the value of your home. Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head over to mobilehomefriend.com. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. For more technical guides on this topic, click the link to see the in-depth article over at mobilehomefriend.com. There are many more informational dives into manufactured home topics to investigate and keep your project moving forward.